Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to what I suppose I might call is my channel on YouTube. You may remember about 6 months ago I promised to do some build videos of the BAC TSR2 when I did a sprue review. Don't ask me to say that again, it's hard enough to say it once, to be perfectly honest with you, but I'm going to make good on that promise now to give you some additional information about where we are. Just as a quick précis of what we're going to do, we're going to look to complete up to stage 15. So I've done some preparatory work with the cockpit tub, the wheel wells and the bomb bay section here, which has come from further previous sections, as you can see. So we'll put these two sections of cockpit together. And as you will recall, I employed some cockpit upgrades, in particular this was the Czech Master Kit one. Now I have to confess that I made a bit of a mess of that, so I had to get another one, so I bought the Wolfpack version. Now the Czech Master Kit one seems pretty good in lots and lots of ways. For example, the control column is scale size. Unfortunately, because I've made a mess of it, I can't use it, so the Czech Master Kits has to go to the side for the spares. The Wolfpack one is the one I'm using, and this is it here. So there are certain other sections that one has to put in here. That's the front, the pilot back wall and the pilot seat. Now I'm going to leave those out when the initial installation is done, because that way, as you can see, that moves from side to side a bit. If I don't get that perfectly in, it'll look a little bit off centre, which would make it look peculiar. What I also did was just to do a quick and dirty build on the original fit cockpit panels and so on and so forth, which I thought might be quite a nice idea to have a little look at, because you can see there isn't an awful lot of detail in them. Now there's some, but at the back there on the navigator side, but on the front there's really hardly any at all. Hopefully you can see that. And if we compare the front there to this front here, if I can put it in front of the camera, let's try and zoom out again, and then we can see this one, and then we'll zoom in on that. See, there's a good deal more detail there than there is on the other one, and so that will look a lot better. There we go, just hold it up so that you can see that there, that's much easier. So there's a good deal more detail there, and I think that will look rather good, although it's fair to say that not all of the detail will be seen, as you'll know, the cockpit side walls, if you like, the side windows, you know, the canopy, the lifting and shutting canopies are called out to be a smoked colour because of the anti-flash part of the design of that cockpit sidewall. The instructions on the kit actually call out the this front panel to be painted as well on the inside with the smoky colour, the darkened colour. That's not the case in any of the photographs that I've seen from the source material I've got, including TSR2, Britain's Lost Bomber. I can't remember who it's by for a minute. The front windows, the front canopy windows are clear, because having them anything other than clear would of course impede the pilot's view. So let's get right down to it. I'm going to do this in a couple of phases. As you can see, I've already put the front wheel well in. I've decorated that and painted it because it would be more difficult to paint all up to the end because of this overlap here. So I've done that already. You can see there's some additional detail in there. I might go through that a little bit later, but the plan here is to put in the cockpit tub. And what we'll do is we'll anoint the cockpit tub with a little bit of PVA here and there so that we can stick it in, but it won't dry immediately. If you do super glue these things, they're stuck in forever and it's impossible to get them out. So we'll do that. We'll then put in the cockpit back wall there, that will go in, and then we'll anoint some glue here. We'll glue up the panel here with some non-quick setting Tamiya cement, that's the white cap stuff. Then we'll button up the top here, tape it after that's dried off, and then button up the bottom and go that way. So let's get right down to it, shall we? So first things first, bit of PVA onto here, and be reasonably sparing with this. I think is probably the best bet. Make sure I'm not zoomed in. That's all right. It gives us a maximum amount of room to see. So I'm not going to edit any of this. So if I mess it up, then I'm doing it for all to see, which is going to be an interesting thing, eh? So nearly dropped that. There we go. So in that goes. We'll just locate that in there like that. And already I've made a bit of a muck up of that, because as you can see some of that PVA's come through, so we'll just wipe that away. That will clear anyway as it dries. It dries clear, which is another reason why it's quite a good thing to use. So then next step, we'll put in that. We won't glue it in just yet because I can already move it out anyway if I need to. Bit of white cap Tamiya cement. That's tightly on there now. Just undo that one quickly. And so we'll just bit of glue on that, bit of glue on that. Just make sure it's reasonably placed. I'll leave that lid off, and then what we can then do is place the two halves together. So we have to be careful to get all the pips in. Oh, that's not gone in quite as I'd intended. There we go. There it is. That's all nicely done in there. So that's now in. So we can start to think about buttoning this up now. So I'm going to use some tape to tape these things shut, just to allow them to dry properly. But we use the green Tamiya cement, which is extra thin. So first things first, let's just have a quick run of my finger over there just to make sure we get these absolutely spot on. And then we'll just quick bead of glue there. And hold that for a second. That dries fairly quickly and then wicks into the joint, is what we want. And then run the glue down here. Then we can push it shut after that. My bottle of glue's nearly empty now, so you have to give it a bit of a shake to get the glue onto the brush. After this one is empty, I might just transfer it to the white cap glue, because then I can apply glue much more accurately into the joints that I want to apply it to, even if it is extra thick. So that's that. We can be a little bit careful along, or less careful along here. So we'll just let those dry for a second or two. So that bit will be fairly dry now, so we can tape over that one. We'll just leave that over there, just keeps it shut. So we can still see that there's a little bit of glue on that there, which is that tacky. That's dry now, dry to the touch, so we can bring that across there, and it looks pretty much clear there, and just take that across there. So that's the top half done then. That's shut up. Now the second bit is the bottom half, and we can do exactly the same process, and hopefully everything will be good. As you can see, it's slightly open, so we're going to have to be a bit careful here. Oh. Anointing that all over the place, that's not good. So draw a bead of glue down there. What I'll do is I'll just let that wick in there, and then I'll close that off with some that's fairly rough and ready, my application of the glue there, I would have to say. Any one of you are free to say that, and please be critical of me, because I'm not very good at this. and these old hands sometimes get it wrong a little bit, so we'll hold that shut there. That should then allow us to let that dry off a little bit. It dries fairly quickly, still shiny a little bit, it's not quite dried yet. There'll be some further work to do there. So, oh no, there you are. That's not good at all. That's much glue there. So that's better there, so I can tape that shut. There we go, that's okay there. That's still a bit tacky there. So what we'll do is just put that down there. Let's move the glue out the way. Bit of tape there, and we'll tape that shut there in an even way. So this is what happens when it goes live. Things don't always go how you want them to. And I'm not going to edit this, so you can see it actually as it was, warts and all. And then the last bit to do would be to obviously finish adhering that together. So let's get the glue back, do the same thing. We can be a little bit more rough and ready with this because there's not quite the same degree of, there was a lot of glue on that. Need to be more careful in future, quite clearly. So we can then hold that shut. I think that's just about level. I can see the glue wicking out of it, but we'll let that dry for at least several hours anyway. And that will be the first bit complete. The next thing after that will be to put the Bombay and rear wheel wells in, and they'll fit in a bit further down. We'll show you that in a minute. So there we go. Just take that shut there. That should take that out. Next step is the rear bomb door, or no, not bomb door, Bombay, and that will slot in there after this fashion. So we'll need to just, what we'll do is we'll just slightly open these up, just a bit carefully. There's the dog barking in the background. If you're sharp-eared, you can hear that. So I shall put that in like that, and we'll glue in this corner, this corner and that corner, and we'll use the white adhesive there because that doesn't dry so quickly. And so there we go. And 4, there we go, so that's 4 points that we're gluing there. And it does go in, I promise. There we go, look, there we are. Now at the top we can then just shut them off like that. And that's now emplaced. So I'm going to do a quick test just to make sure that this fits properly. So I expect this to be reasonably tight, and it is. That's good. That doesn't stand proud. There's a lug here that needs to sit in. So that looks all good from that perspective. So I can take this up and shut that off as well. Just to take that shut there, just to give it some additional stiffness for now. And then I can, later on off camera, I can glue this seam from the back, and that means it won't go all over the place. But having said that, there are panels that sit on the top of this, so we don't have to be too careful with that. We can be reasonably careless, shall we say. So what I'll do then is another bit of tape here, and one side, and then pull it with the other. There we go. Another one here, one side, and then pull to the other. There we go. and then one at the back here, one side, and oh, that's not good, and across to the other, like that. So try not to flame me, guys. I know that I'm not very good at this, but I'm doing my best. So there'll be some finishing needs to be done around this area here, and in there, and also obviously what we'll need to do is to put the driver's seat in, put also the cockpit front panel, and also place in this. So in the Wolfpack variant for the front nose cone, you actually cut about 1 centimetre off the front of the aircraft, and then you can place that nose cone there like that. Then there'll be some filling and finishing needed anyway on that side of it. So there we go. That's where we are up to now. So I'm going to leave that for a while, and off camera then I'll just seal up those seams there because we don't need to open them up anymore. Put that away, we don't need that, and then we can leave that to do its own thing. And we'll come back to you another time in the next, hopefully, next 3 or 4 weeks, and do a little bit more. Thanks very much for watching today, and as I said, please feel free to comment. I'm more than happy to hear what you have to say. You might tell me something I didn't know. In fact, you probably would. So great stuff if you do that. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye-bye.